Hello and welcome to another gameplay impressions video. Today we're doing Osiris New Dawn. This is a game that's been in um, early access for quite some time. I've been playing it off and on, mostly off, since 2017. I liked it then, I like it now. It does have quite a few problems that I would consider making it nowhere near ready for release, but if you look down in the corner, it's 0.4.172. That's not even halfway to version 1.0. And so it's got a lot of stuff in it. It's got mechs, it's got vehicles, it's got structures that you can chain together, it's got survival aspects, it does have interplanetary travel, but not on the scale of No Man's Sky. It has survival and crafting similar to games like Minecraft, but it doesn't have the terrain destruction similar to Minecraft. So it's kind of halfway between a sandbox crafting survival game and No Man's Sky. I'll show some of the issues that it currently has and provide a little bit of my feedback and impressions on it, but let's jump into it. One of the things is that you notice there's a single player and a multiplayer option, but when you're loading your game, no matter what, it loads multiplayer. I don't know what that means, but I made this guy and then I had a bug, so I'm just going to delete him. I'll remake him here. So here's your classes. I really appreciate what they've done here in that they give you 4 different classes. They have their own icons, they have their own allocation of tech tree points, they've got both genders for each of them. I love when a game gives multiple classes and you can choose your gender within the class. That's amazing. More developers should do that, because I prefer to play a male character, but sometimes the mechanics I want to play are locked behind a female character. The problem I have with this system is that once you're off this screen, there's no difference between all these characters. Not that I've experienced, because you pick your appearance. Like this is the one that I had on the character that I just deleted. You pick your appearance, and you get your starting allocation of points. But after that, everybody has access to the exact same tech tree. No matter which one you pick, it costs the exact same amount of points to go down those tech tree lists. And no matter which one you pick, you gain experience for those tech trees for the same actions at the same rate. So while you may get a leg up in one direction on the tech tree to start with, you can get everything at the same rate no matter who you are. There's no skills or abilities tied to them, like this character doesn't modify weaponry in a way that gives it a combat boost. You know, this character doesn't give it a range boost. This character doesn't add interesting things like toxins or electricity to the attacks or anything like that. There's no difference between the different characters after you've chosen them. So that is something that I think they could stand to do, is a little diversity between the classes, either changing the rate at which they gain experience, like maybe the Marine gains combat experience twice as fast as anyone else, the Engineer gains engineering experience, the Scientist gains science experience at twice the rate of anyone else, and then the Ranger gains all of them at like 1 1/4 times the speed of everyone else, or something balanced, like 1.33%, because there's 3 tech trees. And so, you know, they would gain it at 1 times rate, 1 times rate, 2 times rate, whereas they would gain it at 1.3, 1.3, 1.3. And while they don't gain anything as fast as the primary focuses, they do gain at roughly the same rate as everyone else. That would make sense, because this is supposed to be the balanced class, but there is no gain rate difference between them. That, or if everyone gains at the same rate, then maybe the Marine, or maybe everyone but the Marine, has a cost increase to learn combat oriented tech tree things. Everyone but the Engineer has a cost increase for the engineering tech tree, and then the Ranger just has a reduced cost increase for each of their tech trees. That would make sense also, and it would incentivize picking a class in order to do a specific thing better than anyone else, especially on a multiplayer server. Right now, I could pick this dude who has the lowest combat, and I could go out and I could pick up rocks, and I could be a better Marine than a Marine who never picks up rocks or gets into combat. I'm picking this guy because of how he looks, and because combat so far, you have to fight things or pick up rocks. Science and engineering are real easy to gain. So in here, you get to customize your character. You can drag them if you don't have any menus open. You open a menu, you can't drag them anymore. But I will make him dark because I feel like it. I'll give his secondary a little bit of that. That's this stuff. Like if I were to change this to white, that's what secondary is. I'll give him another dark color. And then detail, give him another dark color because that's these shin plates and a couple other things. And they are really, really colorful compared to every other detail kind. So I'll make those dark. And then I'm going to give him a yellow glow for his lights, because it's one of the more visible. I wish they had like an orange. That would be really nice. Here you can change the sliders for height, the head size, torso, so on. You can hit random, and unlike games like Ark, it actually gives you a realistic looking character. So I would typically play a slightly beefier person for the one that I'm creating. After that, you assign your stat points. You can have 25 points per stat, which indicates to me that you can have 100 points in total, which would put you around, I think, level 50, because I think you get 2 stat points per level, or level 40 because you start with 10. I don't know. I got high enough that I capped out strength when I was playtesting a Marine, and I did strength because the way that it works, you'll see once you get into the HUD, is you gain like 5% carrying capacity per point of strength. You gain 1% movement speed per level of speed. Health doesn't indicate anywhere, just as it increases your max health, but I haven't found anywhere that tells you what your max health is. Stamina helps you with running, but it seems to recover so fast that doesn't really seem to make much of a difference to me, but I have become overweight multiple times, so I just spam strength until it's maxed, and then I'll put stats into something else. This is your tech tree. This is what I was saying. Everyone costs the same amount to go in any direction. So because combat is the most dangerous and hardest to acquire, I'm going to start there. I'm just going to go this way because I want to get those. You need to expand out from here, but I don't have enough points to do anything else. And then name your character. That's not his name. There we go. I'll do it on normal because that's the way the game was meant to be played. See here, it loads multiplayer. Okay, so this game has a little bit of a different start. You crashed. That happens before. That happens in other games, but in most games, you don't have to like directly bandage yourself and fix your suit and all that. So try to escape, beat down the door, exit the pod. So one of the things about this game is you need to salvage your spaceship or your escape pod. Unfortunately, you cannot salvage everything. You can only salvage the outer panels. I wish you could salvage more than that. These flaming things are loud. And apparently I can't get all of them. That one's inside the pod. So I wish you could get more of it. But you get some really important stuff off of these, and then you want to make sure that you get them, because if you don't salvage them, then they disappear, they despawn. I don't know what it takes to despawn, but we got a bunch of aliens over here attacking me. There's usually, wow, big one. That's not one of the biggest ones. The AI for the bugs is really, to put it mildly, buggy. Player level up, yay! And there's not an infinite number of them. I think the most I've ever been attacked by in the beginning was like 5. But these things will despawn if you let them go too long, and so last time I was playtesting a character, I only picked up some of the initial stuff, and when I came back it was all gone. So your multi-tool allows you to collect things like space debris. Your inventory has not only a weight limit, it also has a slot limit. So things like these barrels that don't stack, they're going to fill up your slot limit pretty quickly. And then you can build things with things like these sceliopod shells, crab shedding, stuff like that. You can use those to build structures, gear, weapons, as long as you unlock the recipes for them. They will respawn, so I hear fire this way. You see that bar at the bottom is my stamina. Okay, I no longer hear fire this way. But, you need to make sure that you pick up as much as you can of the starting crash, because there are some resources in it that are difficult to acquire outside of the crash. So like we've got these two crashed things over here. And so I got space debris off that one. Space debris is not hard to get. You can get that from a lot of things. Steel, you have to manufacture that. Rubber is one of the most important ones, I think. Every now and then your HUD will glitch on you like that. Come on. You can see the sandstorm building around me. Sandstorms are dangerous. They will puncture your suit and get you killed if you don't take care of them, or if you don't guard yourself from them. But I'm going to head over this way and finish looting this structure if I can. There we go. Steel is good. And like I was saying, unfortunately, you can't take any more of this. Like, look at all this usable material that I can't touch. But you can see I'm getting engineering points for this. Just taking this stuff apart is raising my skills. Everyone gains it at the same rate. Okay. There's nothing I can take from inside. Like, all this stuff would be so useful. I could turn this structure into a place to survive in, but you can't. And because it's a crash site, it will despawn, like I was saying. Also, if you have trouble going up hills, you can crouch, and that gives you more grip. Crouching allows you to climb hills. There are some issues with climbing hills where, like, if you're going up a steep hill and you try to jump, there's a pretty good chance you're going to injure yourself. You're going to actually receive an injury trying to jump up a hill. It's got some weird mechanic in place for that kind of thing. You'll see I have missions on the left, like press V to toggle camera perspective. Yay! I leveled up for that. And they want me to build a debris hut. I'm going to head this way towards these things because there is a little bit of stuff I will show in that direction. I'm almost halfway into my recording time, so I don't want to just like dally about. Run! And this is why I don't spend much points in stamina. With how little it increases and how quickly it recovers, like the small % increase doesn't seem to be worth the investment in exchange for something like strength. Strength just comes across as a much better investment. So, one of the things that you can do, F2 opens your inventory. I've got 2 of these barrels. I can put this in slot 6, put this in slot 5. Now, this is gas. You need a barrel to extract gas. Hydrogen is super important because you need that, I think, for rubber and some other things. But you're going to need a chemistry bench for it later. You can use a blunt object to harvest things like that. You want to make sure you're attacking things like this red berry tree. Red berries are used for things. When it puts a puff of leaves out like that, you should find a berry on the ground. Come on. Like that. There's a red berry. These can be used in a number of things. So there should be another 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. I'm going to want multiple of these. Targeting is a little bit janky in this game. If you walk into these, as expected, you will puncture your suit. There is a type of plant that you want to focus on. It is apparently not available in this crater, but it might be over here in these trees. You'll notice in the upper right corner it says density rising. I don't know what density rising means. I think that leads to an event, such as a dust storm, stuff like that. But I'm going to want nitrogen. Severe dust storm, get behind cover. I am behind cover. I'm not really behind cover, I'm behind gas, but it considers this as cover. So right now I might as well knock out the debris hut. You hit F3 to build. Structure, they want me to build a debris hut. You can use your left and right mouse to change the orientation, and then F to place it, hold F to build it. There. And now I have a new mission, build a space debris chest. Might as well knock that out while I'm waiting for this dust storm to settle. I think I can pick it up later, maybe, maybe not. But utility, I think. Space debris chest. I need depositories. So that's going to be under F5. Depositories cost 6 engineering. I have 9 points thanks to all the things I've deconstructed. That takes 10 of my 23 space debris. Unfortunately, you can't like look down and target it really close to you. It does have a minimum range, but if you look up, it starts extending where it goes. And then in that space debris chest, I can put things like those. It holds 10 items. I don't need these ammo cells. I definitely don't need these critter bits, wires. I can't use that. I do want these for now, those, because they're meat. I can't eat them in their current state, but I can use them. If you hover over something, you can see its total weight. I heard that. If you're hiding inside of a hut, then you're supposed to be safe from enemies, but it's not a pressure sealed environment. You need to build a habitat for that. Okay, dust storm is over. So bring out my knife. Also, if you hit L, you turn on your light. There's supposed to be a battery for your light that can expire, but I've never had that happen. I've run my light for like 20, 30 minutes inside of a structure, inside of a mine, like that one, and not had it wear out. There's one of those critters that was making noises at me. Ouch. There's another one. You can get pistols. You have to work your way up in the tech tree enough, but you're also going to need the infrastructure to build them, not just the infrastructure to make the ammunition. There we go. So mines like this are really valuable because not only do you get stuff in the mines, but right outside of the mines, you typically get these. And they respawn, at least in single player. And look at all that space debris. And every time you get them, you start getting engineering experience. And then once you're in one of the mines, then like these things aren't really usable. Those aren't really usable. You come down, you find stuff, you find people. A lot of stuff in the mines tends to recover. Like this probably won't. It might, but it probably won't be back if I were to come in here later. But if you come in a day or two, a lot of the containers will be refilled. A lot of the ore deposits will have regenerated. So I need that blue key in order to open this. And then in here, you can find things like this crate. Look at that, food. I don't have to worry about food now. And there's some cloth, which will be used for crafting, some ammo for weapons I don't have, and there's some more tape to repair my suit. Batteries are useful. here, I've always found a power switch somewhere in a mine. I've only been in mine alpha, mine beta. Ammo box if I had a rifle. And so you can come into places like this and you can recover your ammunition stuff easily. Here's a glass container with water, so if I were to get low on hydration, which is over here, the green bar is your nutrition, the light green bar is your hydration, just like over here. This green bar is my health, and dark green is my suit, but I don't know where the actual suit bar is for that. This is your outside temperature and your suit temperature. Now, this one doesn't tell you what it does. Also, the PSI down here in the bottom left does not have an indicator in here, so I have no idea what PSI is. It's probably this one, but I don't know how to impact it. It's probably something that shows the pressurization of the room that you're in. So when you have a habitat or something like that, it will show you that you're in a pressurized location, but I don't know. You typically in a mine will find like a dumped over mine cart with some ore around it. And there's some of the critters. Here's what I'm talking about with the creature AI being buggy. Like, there they are. And if I just come over here, they will charge at me. And I hit them. They will charge at me and I hit them. Come on. Like, this is as hard as combat is against the creatures. And that takes care of those. Now, this gives you a little bit of that aliens vibe, but you can't do anything to them. You have to be careful hitting things with your dagger or with your hammer. Your hammer's for harvesting ores. You have to be careful hitting things like walls and stuff because it will damage the durability of them and you get nothing for it. Also, you can hear creatures running around even though the creatures that you can hear are significantly far away from you. So here's more things. That one's a threat. Whoa. I've never actually had them come up the stairs before. There we go. Yep. I've had them get stuck in the floor before. Come on. The loot boxes for them can be a little bit janky. I think I need to heal. So yeah, this one looks like I'm not going to be able to loot it. There we go. Apparently I just had to hit it again. F2, use one of my mini bandages. I'm not worried about using those because I get them from the loot crates in the chest. There, look at that. Look at that. So hard. What a threat these things are. And then I can't hit that one from here, but as soon as this one's gone, then I can just move down the stairs a little bit. Get that thing out of the way. There, now I can start hitting there. Level up. And here comes a big one. That one might be able to hit me where I am. So I want to back up a little bit. Yep, it can hit me. But it's dead. And the big ones, they tend to give you tools, so you don't really have to worry about using up all the durability on your on your picks and your hammers and stuff like that, because the big ones tend to give you new tools. Ooh. All right. Ouch. I haven't seen anything regarding like a shield or anything like that that you could use to block attacks. I also haven't picked up any weapons. So most of them are coming from that big room over there. If you use your hammer, turn this off, it doesn't really help, but you'll notice it says on the screen mineral hardness 5. That tells you can use your hammer to break this. You can attack any rock you want, but if it doesn't tell you it's a mineral, you don't get anything for it. I don't see anything that I can really use. Wah! Run! What? What? Where the hell did those come from? Oh. Hello. I'm hitting the wall. I am thinking AI may have done something buggy-ish. As happens. Yes, yes, come over here so I can move on. I really wish I had a gun so that I could just... Thank you. Another tactical knife. I'll use another one of these. And there's one of the things that I got. So you want to make sure you loot as much as you can, just in case. You never know when you're going to need some of the stuff, and you can always drop it. Like I said, you come into one of these, and the enemies respawn, the crates respawn. It's not... Woo! Can I trick you into just like sticking your face in this hole? Nope. Ouch. These things can pierce your armor. Okay. My health is a little low. You can also attack things with your hammer if you happen to have it out. It does about the same amount of damage as my dagger does. But since you have to use your hammer for breaking minerals, it's good not to destroy your hammer by attacking creatures. Run around the edges. Here's a new one. So, aluminum. If you look in the upper left corner of the screen, you can see that I'm gaining engineering experience at a pretty hefty rate. And that's the biggest draw for me for coming into the mines, is as they restock, you get a ton of engineering experience by opening these up. I am hungry. Find food. I'm starving. Wow. I wonder if harvesting lithium makes you super hungry. So I've got these. And my nutrition is almost full now. You can eventually make those, I believe, if you unlock things like your kitchen and stuff like that. Otherwise, you basically take the bug meat that you're getting and you grill it up in a forge or furnace. I hear this thing wandering around in the walls. At least it's not one of those things where it's like, there are enemies nearby you cannot travel. Instead, all right. So that is a mine. That's a basic structure. That's harvesting gas, beating down berries from trees. I wanted to mention the berries that you get from trees because the first time I played the game recently, when I came back to it after the latest updates, see, these are back already. And density is rising towards another sandstorm. So if I don't make it back to my hut before the sandstorm hits, then I'll just need to I'll need to find shelter somewhere else. But I wanted to mention the berries from the trees because the first time that I came back to the game, I knew that you could get berries from trees, or I knew you could get berries. And I knew that one of them said it was a berry tree, but when I attacked it, I didn't see anything. Normally, when you attack a bush or something, it tells you what you got. And so, oh yeah, right, put that away. It tries to repair it if you have it out. So I don't really have any room in this crate for more stuff, but after all the stuff that I got from that cave, I can just, you know, build another one. And the panel that you see on the front there is going to be the indicator of how full it is. There is a little bit of a grid system, it seems, to placing stuff, but at other times it seems like that moved real smoothly. But there are other things that I'll try to place, like if I try to place a furnace, I need a barrel with hydrogen to make a furnace? I didn't know that. I never knew I had a barrel with hydrogen before. Maybe that's an update that I didn't know that I got. Okay. So notice how it's kind of jumping around instead of sliding the way that the chest did. So there appears to be a little bit of a grid regarding where you can put things. And then in here, you take things like your aluminum ingots. It says I have 14, it takes 14 aluminum to make an ingot. So you just click until that goes to 0. It'll count around. It has 3 storage. You can queue up more than you actually have space for. But like these meats, you can queue all those up and they all become grilled meat because they're all called grilled alien meat. They just come from different sources to make it. And then you have Orsic meat and Tumbo meat. So all of these you can queue up and they'll come to the same spot. But if you queue up all of these ingots or ingots and glass, then you'll have to start pulling stuff out of here in order for the next ones to finish their cycle. Now in here, I'm going to put my spare tools. I will drink from that. And then another thing that I don't like, I zoom out on this map here, the tech tree, and then when I come back into it, it's zoomed in again. And when I come back into it, it's zoomed in again. I don't like that. I zoomed out for a reason. I don't like having this much visible. That's just wrong. Like, how are you supposed to operate that way? So I need a shovel to make glass. And then there's airlocks, but I don't have enough for that. Down here, I can get that one. I'm going to need 18 for that. There's my dust storm. But because coming from that direction, it seems like dust storms always come from that direction. My debris hut is causing an interference with the dust storm, so I'm safe here. That is a bark tree. You can beat on it to get bark. I haven't found the use for bark yet, but I know it has one. And I wanted to show another one. There is a kind of, I think that's it, maybe. There's a kind of bush. No, that's not it. There's a kind of bush that you want to harvest pretty regularly because it makes things like these. It gives you the blue palms, but the blue palms are also edible. So if you can't find berries, if you can't kill crabs and get their meat and cook the alien meat and stuff like that, you can actually eat the blue palms and they give you sustenance. And then with blueberries and blue palms, you can make masking tape, which is basically patch tape. So you need blue palms in that, and you'll notice it does a suit integrity bonus of 0.4, has a weight of 0.02. These do the exact same amount of patching, but you need cloth bundles for them. The big difference is that they weigh half as much. So you can carry twice as much patch tape as you can masking tape. And then you've got your makeshift bandages, which heals from the inventory. You need blue palms and red berries, so finding a red berry tree is really handy for that. Good thing there's one over there, or that one, or whichever one it is. But yeah, I like I was saying, I like the game, and there's a lot of stuff about it that has so much promise and potential. But little things like injuring yourself while jumping on a hillside, like you start to jump and you take damage. Sometimes pretty catastrophic damage. I've gone from fully healed to like 20% health just by accidentally hitting the spacebar going up a slope. You know, that's bad. Not that button. Your character, I guess you can like wash the dust and grime off of your suit if you get a habitat and a shower and stuff like that, but for all the customization I did, I'm just orange. I'm constantly orange. I'm that dirty. This character doesn't seem to have the same issue with it as the ranger does, or maybe, yeah, going uphill. Look at that deformation of the butt. Like the model, it's a little janky with some of the animations. In this character, you notice I have a shadow, but if I go into first person view, only those two things on my back have a shadow. So that's a little weird. So the game, like I said, it's not even halfway to release, but it still has a lot of potential. It has some fun multiplayer. My brother and I played it back in 2017 and we enjoyed ourselves, and then something happened, most likely work, and I was no longer able to keep playing, and then we just kind of let it sit by the wayside for a long time. This is a way to get water, so if you have like a water thing, which I put in the other one, but if you have a water container, then you can fill it from this, and every time it rains, which is kind of frequently, this will start filling up with water again. Also, I think you can put water in this from cooking the alien meat, and then I think the steam from that will also fill the water. So this is a renewable source of water. And then you do have to learn all the tech trees, or you have to have people in your group that know all the tech trees, because down this path is your structures, your main structures, your barracks where you sleep, your habitat. Down here is, down here's your waste management. Here's how you grow stuff with your planters. This is where you store fuel. This is plumbing for your shower, and then your kitchen for cooking. But if you go this way, this is where you have climate control, which makes the temperature of habitats livable. It has oxygen filtration, water reclamation, and your agriculture domes. So here's where you get the things you put in a biodome. Here's the biodome itself. And then if you come down this tech tree, this is where you get some of these walls from. But this one's mostly combat. You also get an alert every time you survive a day, although being in a mine seems to change when that happens. Like, I've had it happen at a certain point of the day each day when I stay outside, but I come out of a mine and it might be the middle of the night and I survive a soul even though I crash landed in the middle of the day. So you also get your solar panels, which are used to power things over here. So like you have to do everything. You have to. Anyways, this is a fun game. I look forward to more of it. There are multiple planets. They're currently working on one of them that they wanted to release but weren't able to. Oh, hey, perfect timing. That's an amazing, look at that. Ugh, creepy things. But those meteors, they aren't just for looks. You go over there and you can get renewable lithium and plutonium off of those meteors. One other thing that I wanted to mention is if you look in your key bindings, you have lens wipe with K. I don't know if you have to have something in order to use that, But if I hit K, I just do this weird little, yeah, like it doesn't actually wipe my lens. It just makes my screen go insane. And then if I go into third person view and hit it, I do a squeegee motion, but it doesn't do anything. Like it doesn't clean my visor. So there is a wipe visor button, but you basically walk around with your visor looking all dirty and snowy all the time because the button doesn't actually work. So look at that. Our water's full. So yeah, if you are interested in the game, it's available on Steam. I'll put a link below. It's got a lot of potential. Unfortunately, it's going so like if you look at the updates on it, if you're able to look at the updates without buying it, you'll see that they've been releasing pretty regular updates, sometimes twice a month. Um, and so they are actively working on this game. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to come back to it and do a video for it now that I actually have the ability to do videos, unlike 4 years ago. But they are actively working on the game. It is a little bit slow in that regard, but it has so much potential. I'm really hoping they do some things to make the game better. Like the creature AI, just it does need quite a bit of work in order to get to a high level. Right now, the way that they just kind of like shuffle around and hide from you and your light, it just needs work. Um, some of the collision needs some improvement. The glitches like hurting yourself going up a hill, like I mentioned earlier, could stand to be worked on some. The models look amazing as far as these go. I don't have a problem with that. But they just behave weird. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Activate. Save. See, progress saved. Yay. Also, when you hit escape and exit the game, it saves your progress there too. So, yeah, if you're interested in the game, do give it a look. Wishlist it. That tells you have interest, even if you're not going to buy it just yet. You can follow it to read the updates that they release, even if you don't own it. So, show a little bit of interest in the game, and maybe they will be able to put out some more content. I'm not exactly sure whether they have like a Discord where you can talk with the developers and share ideas and stuff like that. Don't know. I have bad enough internet that I don't join people's Discords. And I'll see you in the next video.